Welcome, my friend, to Still Point 1210, where we pause together to breathe, to reset, and to rise. Each still point unfolds in 3 gentle movements. A 10-minute meditation to settle the body and the breath. A 15 to 20-minute reflection to open the heart and the mind, and a 5-minute moment of thankfulness to carry you through the rest of your day. You're invited to stay for the whole journey or to join us for just one part. There's no right way to be here, only your way. This is your time to breathe, to reset, and to rise. I'm Sharon Campbell-Rayment, and this still point is centered on love. Not love as a feeling or obligation, but love as presence, love that comes near on this Christmas Eve. Let us begin by becoming ready. Place both feet onto the floor. Notice the weight of your body being supported. Allow the shoulders to soften. Bring your attention to your breath without changing it yet. This is the first movement of the narrow mind shift, moving from the thinking mind into the sensing body. Love cannot be received when we are braced, so we begin by arriving. Take a slow breath in through the nose and allow that gentle breath out through the mouth. Now we move into the release. Begin to lengthen the exhale slightly, breathing out just a little longer than you breathe in. At the end of the exhale, pause briefly. Do not strain, simply rest. This is the second part of the narrow mind shift. As the exhale lengthens, the nervous system shifts out of survival mode. The body receives the message. You are safe enough to soften and relax. Repeat this rhythm 2 or more times. Inhale and a long exhale. With a gentle pause, and allow the next breath to come naturally. Let the jaw loosen. Let the chest soften and relax. Now bring awareness to your heart space. Continue the same breathing rhythm, a slow inhale and a longer exhale, and then a gentle pause. This is the third movement of the narrow mind shift, heart-brain coherence. Christmas love does not rush. It does not demand. It draws near. It feels natural. And now silently say, love is here. Presence is here. You do not need to reach for it. You are already held. Now we prepare to return. Notice the room around you and the sounds, the light. This is the final movement of the narrow mind shift integration. The calm you feel here is something you carry with you. Before opening your eyes, ask yourself gently, what does love want to soften and bring to me today? And when you're ready, just open your eyes slowly and be present here and now. At the heart of the Christmas story is a simple, disruptive truth. Love chooses proximity, not power, not certainty, not control. Love comes near. That's easy to say and harder to receive, especially on Christmas Eve, because Christmas Eve can carry so many layers at once. For some, it feels warm and luminous. familiar hymns, candlelight, the gentle hush of a sanctuary, the sound and soft relief of, we made it here. For others, it carries tenderness and ache, memories that rise without permission, the absence of someone who should be here, the quiet weight of a year that asks too much. And for many of us, it's both joy and grief braided together like threads that refuse to separate. This is why the Christmas story matters, not as a sentimental tale, but a spiritual truth. Love that does not wait until life is tidy. Love that does not hold back until the world is calm, but love enters into reality as it is. In Luke's Gospel, the birth of Jesus does not unfold inside comfort or control. It happens in vulnerability, a young mother, a weary journey, a crowded town, an improvised place to rest. And the first announcement does not go to the powerful, it goes to shepherds, ordinary people doing ordinary work, startled by the glory and the first words we always need. Do not be afraid. That is not a throwaway line. It's the doorway into love. Because fear makes us contract. Fear narrows our vision. Fear hardens our bodies. Fear tells us to brace, to protect, to manage, to stay grounded and guarded. And when we live inside fear, even subtle fear, love becomes difficult to receive. Not because love is absent, but because we are armoured. This is where your neuromanship lens becomes a gift, not an add-on. When love is experienced as pressure, to perform at Christmas, to be cheerful, to be fine, to be grateful on demand, the nervous system tightens. The body stays in defense. And we might show up outwardly, but inwardly, we're braced. And in that state, the soul struggles to receive what it most needs. But when love is experienced as nearness, without demand, something shifts. The breath deepens, the jaw loosens, the shoulders soften, and the heart opens. Not because we forced it open, but because the body senses safety. This is why the angel begins with, do not be afraid. Love begins by calming fear. Love does not push past the nervous system. Love tends it. And Christmas, at its core, is exactly that kind of love. A love that does not demand performance, but offers presence. This is why incarnation is so powerful. Incarnation means love becomes embodied. Love takes flesh. Love moves into the physical world, into hunger, into cold nights, human need, and human tenderness. Christmas is not God's watching from a distance. Christmas is God with us, present, near, close enough to touch the wound and hold the shaken heart. You can hear the same truth echoed in the Gospel of John, not in the manger imagery, but in mystic language. The Word became flesh and lived among us. Lived among us. Not visited, not hovered, but lived. This is love that stays. And staying is one of the most overlooked forms of love. So often we think love must be dramatic, big gestures, perfect words, sweeping transformations. But love is frequently quieter than that. Love is the person who stays on the hard day. Love is the gentle text that says, "I'm thinking of you." Love is the breath you take when you didn't think you could take another. Love is the way you keep going, not with force, but with faithfulness. Christmas, love is not flashy, it is faithful. Christmas love is faithful. It does not arrive with spectacle or certainty. It arrives with quietly, steadily, and often without applause. This is the kind of love we see in the Christmas story itself. A love that stays awake through the night. A love that shows up without guarantees. A love that chooses presence over power. Mary does not receive a promise of ease. She receives a promise of nearness. Joseph does not receive clarity. He receives the courage to remain. The shepherds do not receive control. They receive an invitation to come and see. This is love that does not demand perfection before it appears. It comes into confusion. It enters fear. It stays with what is unfinished. This kind of love matters, especially when life does not resolve neatly. Because many of us know what it is to live inside unanswered questions, to carry grief that has no timeline, to walk forward without certainty about what comes next. Christmas does not ask us to pretend otherwise. Instead, it offers a deeper assurance that love is not something we have to generate, but something that meets us where we are. Faithful love does not hurry us past pain, it accompanies us through it. It does not shout over our fears, it steadies us within it. This is the love that strengthens us, not by removing the weight of our lives, but by helping us carry it with greater gentleness and trust. Christmas Eve invites us into that same knowing. Not that everything will suddenly make sense, not that everything will be fixed by the morning, but that we are not alone inside it, and that changes how we live. When love comes near, we can begin to loosen the grip of self-protection. We can stop trying to be strong in the way we think strength must be. We can let ourselves be held by God, by grace, by community, by the quiet steadiness of the Spirit. We can allow softness without calling it weakness. And then, almost without noticing, love begins to move through us. We become gentler with our families, not because they became easier, but because our own nervous systems are less braced. We become more patient with ourselves, not because we suddenly mastered life, but because we're remembering we're loved. We become more compassionate in the world, not because we have unlimited energy, but because love makes room in us again. This is the everyday application of incarnation. Love received becomes love embodied. So tonight, if Christmas feels bright for you, receive it with gratitude, not as proof that life is perfect, but as a gift. And if Christmas feels heavy for you, receive this truth with tenderness. Love It's not waiting for you on the other side of your pain. Love is here with you inside it. Love does not shame you for what you feel. Love does not rush you past what you carry. Love is near. Love comes near. And in that nearness, fear softens, the breath returns, the heart steadies, the soul remembers, I am held. This is the gift of Christmas Eve. Not answers, not certainty, not a forced feeling, but love. Present, embodied, faithful. Love that comes near. Love that stays. Love that does not let you go. Now just take a moment to notice one place where love has been present in your life recently. It may have been small. It may have been unexpected. But let gratitude rest there without needing any words. My friends, if this still point supported you, consider sharing it with a friend who may need a moment of calm and connection. Sometimes love simply sounds like an invitation to pause. My friends, as we close, remember over these next few days to breathe, reset, and rise. Until next time, walk slowly, listen deeply, speak gently, and receive the world with an open heart and a smile. Amen.